Hey, good evening, fam. Good evening. Hope all is well with everybody. Hope all is well with everybody. Listen, I want to take a quick minute, right, and kind of like go over some things to me that, that's a little concerning. I've been in the industry now for about 16 years, it'll be 17 years in a couple of months. And I want to talk about, whenever I go into homes, people never consider doing a policy for their children, right? And I've been around for a while again, and I've had situations where client call me in reference to some situation that happened to their kid, and they get them coverage now and things like that. And I've attached a flyer to this video, right? So you guys can kind of like have an idea as to some of the things that can happen to your children. Obviously, we hope for the best for our children. We don't ever pray that anything bad happens to our children. But at the end of the day, life happens, right? And a lot of people don't know, right? That and let me go over some stuff with you guys real quick, so you guys can have an idea, right, of things that happens to children that we don't consider. Again, we're living life and we hope for the best and things like that, but you want to make sure that something happens that your child's gonna be okay. You're gonna be able to financially be able to take care of whatever situation that may occur financially. That can help you put your child, in a better position, as such as better treatment, better medicine, on things like that. So right now, what I want to go over right now is the top 8 things in America right now as cause of death of children, right? Number 1 is unintentional injury. Things like motor vehicles, drowning every summer. I don't know how many children drown every summer. One of my clients a couple of years ago, him and his girlfriend drowned. I did a policy for him for like $500,000, and that policy was done 4 months before he drowned. So that was in a way a blessing, even though the gentleman is gone. We miss him and stuff like that. But if I hadn't have done that, because the gentleman had 2 properties, he had 2 houses, he had a couple of cars. He has a family that he helps back home. So that kind of came in very handy, right? Number 2 is firearm related injury. Like in America, and this is sad to say, but so many kids get killed, by drive-by shooting, or maybe they in activities they shouldn't be in and things like that. And, and they get, stuff happens, right? And we don't plan for homicide, cancer is another one. Influenza, pneumonia, heart disease. These are things that happen to children, right? That we don't plan for, but when it happens, a lot of people, are not able to get through it because of finances. When you guys get a moment, you go watch the movie John Q. That movie John Q is the reason why I increased my kids' policy to such a high death benefit. Because there's something in these newer policies that's called living benefits. That God forbid something happen to your child, whether health-wise or injury or whatever, I can actually activate their life insurance policy while they're alive. Now I could pull money from that will allow me to now give them the opportunity to get the better treatment. Because here's the deal: sometimes your health insurance don't want to cover certain things, or they may cover partial, and now you have to come out of pocket, and you may not have it. So now you can look to your life insurance as a way to pull money from to make sure your child gets the best care that your child, can possibly get. So listen, again, I've attached my flyer to this, to this video. If you guys want to sit down and see, and kids' policy are so cheap. I'm talking about you could do $1 million policy for a child, and I believe it can be under $100 for a permanent policy. You understand? So listen, if you guys want to sit down and have a conversation about this and want to go over numbers, feel free to give me a call. My number where I can best be reached is 443-208-5480. That's 443-208-5480. Or you can email me. Let me know what your questions are, if you want quotes and things like that, at evolve@titanevolutiongroup.com. That's evolve@titanevolutiongroup.com. But other than that, if you're watching this and you have children, and you don't have life insurance for them, don't leave your children out there like that. Okay? Let's have a conversation. Talk to you soon.